Hi guys. Okay, so um, I've been trying to do this. This is like the third time I made this video. I wanted to talk to y'all about the National Novel Writing Month. Um, I went ahead this year. I didn't think I was going to participate this year, but I decided at the last minute to go ahead and do it. I had an idea sitting around in my head for a while that I just hadn't been able to make move forward. So I thought that, yeah, I'll give it a shot and see what happens. I've done it a couple of years in the past, and sometimes I've won and sometimes I haven't. But the important part of it is, even if you don't win, you have something to work with afterwards. So that when I went into it this year, that's what I was hoping to get, was just even just a little further along in the story that I wanted to write, to maybe plump it up to something that I could work with later on. Now, for me, National Novel Writing Month is kind of a joke because I write day after day after day after day all year long. In fact, when November 1st rolled around this year, I wasn't quite ready to start a new manuscript because I was finishing up another manuscript. And when I say finishing up a manuscript, I mean I was finishing up the first draft of another manuscript. I took 2 days off to let my hands recover, and I pulled out this idea that I've had in my head for a couple of years, and haven't ever been able to plot out well enough to make it move. So I had a lot of notes on things that I wanted to say in the story already, so I pulled all those out and I made it, for the first time ever, successfully. I did an outline. I've never been successful at writing from an outline, but this time it seemed to work. The story morphed genres a little bit, and that kind of helped too. Um, and of by the morning of November 28th, I hit my 50,000 word limit. um, you might be wondering, how the hell did I pull that off? It was, especially in November, because of how strange this November has been, and I don't want to get into that subject, but for me, I've been a writer for a long time, and writing is not a special thing that I do. It is what I do all the time. So to not write I have to be really sick or something really huge in my life going on to make me not write. And we'll just say that November was you would be surprised at how much you get done, even if you think, oh, the world is falling apart, if you just sit down, clear your mind, and write. And in fact, even if you take what it was that was upsetting you and put it down on paper, you can turn it into a scene. You can change the names. You can scoot it around. You could write it as realistically as you want to and cut it out later. With National Novel Writing Month, I wrote more words than I usually write every single day. The guidelines for Nanowrimo say, 1,600 words a day for 30 days will get you 50,000 words. That's arbitrary to me. Normally, I'll type about 5 to 6, 700 words. If I'm going at a good clip, I'll do upwards of 3,000. Well, this time I was so focused on what I was doing. I do my word counts at the end of every day, and make a tally of them, just to see how much that I've done throughout the year. And I noticed in my list of the the writing tallies for November, I was doing 3,000, 4,000. At one point, I did 6,000 words. Now I have carpal tunnel, and that's going to hurt a lot because it's all type. You have to type it all up, I believe, to get it validated. Don't quote me on that. I think there's another way to do it, and I left somebody a comment about it recently, so I hope she gets back to me about it. Um, but this manuscript I was working on kind of dictated that. And that to me, I mean, sometimes writing is like that, and sometimes you can sit there and write 500 words and you've accomplished something. And I'll always say that. I've had friends who complain about not being able to do more than, oh, maybe 4,000 words a week or maybe 2,000 words a week. It doesn't matter. You've got the words down. It's good. Every little bit that you can advance in that story or that manuscript that you're working on is good. So I just spent my time typing up the story.